Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of America in Black and White, where we discuss the issues of what's happening and troubling in the underserved African American communities and how we can best solve those issues. Tonight, we were supposed to have a guest, Mr. Darryl C. Speaks, but it seems as though if he's not going to be able to make it, so we are going to go forward with just some shows. With this show tonight, I'll just be talking about some things that's happening that I definitely would love for us to work on and to make best in our communities. Well, one of the things I want to talk about is I want to make sure that each and every last one of you individuals, that's in our underserved communities as well as African American communities, can do one thing to better lives. And that is, you guys need to make sure that you go out and vote. I'm asking you to do that because 2024 is a has got this major issue going on with the election to where, we've got some issues with certain communities that, face extinction. So right now, what's being debated and what is happening right now in this election cycle is we have this two-party system, but now we've got some folks that are running on alternate parties that are actually trying to cipher away enough vote to lean to have everything leaning towards the conservative side of this movement that's here in the country. What has always been the case is, for people that look like myself, we've always had the situation to where it matters not what party has actually been in place, but there's nothing that has been beneficial, to really help our situations, to help build our communities and build our people. Well, let me just say this. I think when it comes to this election, I think people should think more of this is not an issue of, the lesser of two evils, because there's really two sides here, and the two sides are very meaningful, and not only what they say, but what they're doing. And so I'm saying that to say is that when it comes down to the Republican Party, the Republican Party is actually the party that's actually leaning more so on the negative side and a negative impact on people that look like yourself and me. What that means is that they're talking about this thing that's being preached for some time now about taking America back and making it great again. I don't know what that means, but I can tell you from my understanding of what that's supposed to mean is that people that don't look like me, or that has always had the actual opportunity, to have this free leg up, or to have a booster seat at any time, feel like they're the ones that should be in charge of America. They feel like they're the ones that should be in charge of the world, and they feel like anything that does not look like them should not even exist. So what that means, making America great again, is reverting the country back to where not only are Black folks not having or anything that's not white does not have the ability to vote, but women should not have rights. So that in itself, I call that a double-edged sword. So what that means is that any part of a progressive movement has to be cut short. So I think anytime somebody can tell you, like Donald Trump has, that he's guaranteeing that one, he's not going to come out the White House if he gets back in there because he wants to become the king of America, which should never be. And number two, they want to take away um, DEI as they have with affirmative action, meaning that people that look like myself should not even be in any conversations that's dealing with what's going to make this world what it's supposed to be. Number three, they want to take away the Department of Education. And if they take away the Department of Education, since they've already stripped the country of affirmative action, and now they want to take away DEI, what that means is, they can decide who goes to school and who don't go to school, because that means that a lot of these educational programs that are here in place would be set to where only the folks that have always been the people that have benefited from everything that's happened off the backs of everybody else, that these are the people that should be educated and have the opportunity to do whatever it is that they see fit when it comes to running this country. Well, the fourth thing is, of course, as I mentioned, the rights. That is, there will be no voting rights for folk that look like myself. I know they call us minorities, but we're not the minority. We're the majority, because people that look like myself make up 90% of this world. The minority are these people that are in charge of the system that's causing everyone else a problem. So they're the ones that are trying to take away voting rights. They're trying to take away women's rights in order for them to vote, to have babies, any of that nature, where they're actually trying to control their bodies. But this is where each and every last one of us that has a say-so, has a vote, and have an opportunity should let that be known. Now I'm going to tell you what the X factor is, and I call it an X factor because I really don't understand where it comes from. But we have this thing that people are running around here in the media, the big time media, talking about this thing about black men for Trump. I don't know where that comes from. I have seen some of those things actually, in media. But I will tell you this: nobody asked me what did I think about that, because that was not about me. And so, if that's the case, then we have, um, ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Mr. Darryl Speaks, has joined us tonight. Let's welcome him to the show, please.
Hey,
Hello,
Mr.
sir.
Brother King. Hey, I apologize on the challenges of moving around and things of this nature. And God knows He wants the best for everything, but blame it to my head, not my heart.
Not a problem. How are you this evening?
You know, God is good. We just have to be grateful for everything, the goods, the bads, and the uglies, and just keep on moving and marching forward. You know what I mean, brother?
Oh, I do. So as we, as I had started so forth, can you tell our audience a little bit about who Darryl Speaks is and what you are working on at this moment?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, my name is Darryl C. Speaks. I'm a family man of three lovely children. My baby's in college, my middle's in the Navy, and my oldest is a professional with two nice, beautiful grandchildren, Zion and Atlas. Single gentleman, born and raised in New York City, been in Florida for over 30, 40 years, well, 40 years, and down in Miami. And I'm traveling now the country to fulfill a mission to empower the Black economy on a global scale. So we have two major companies. The first company is the Sable Ascent Coin Corporation, where I'm the chairman and the CEO and the founder. It is a digital currency and wallet system connecting the African and the Black economy to provide prosperity through transactions. And then our latest venture over the past 2 years has been the Building Black Business Expo, which is another zero barrier to entry platform, which allows for growth, resources, tools, and opportunities, coaching and mentorship in the for-profit and nonprofit world, and an expo and a meeting and a coaching brand that we're doing across the country.
So tell us what inspired you to start your entrepreneurship journey?
Well, everything is about solving problems, right? So my entire life as a young man, and now more into my elders, it's always been about solving problems. It's always been about, for me, it's all about my community and my people. And so I'm unapologetically about my people. It's not that I don't like anyone else. I just love myself more. So I always find myself solving problems that I see in the world, and my motto for myself is live in the world you have while you build the world you want to see and live in.
Hmm. That's a really good thing, and I think a lot of people need to more than just feel that way, but I think they should act on those kind of actions because it's the positive reinforcement and positive thoughts that bring about positive change.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of folks are scared to execute and move on their goals and ambitions because of fear of failure or fear of ostracism and things of this nature. But if you understand, it's not really you against the world; it's really you against you. And every day, each of us has to wake up and look at ourselves in the mirror and see what it is that we actually truly want to do, want, and have, and you need to go after it on a daily basis. And all the criticism is just light fear from other folks putting that fear on you. So you shouldn't be afraid of it. You should just fight through it and go for your dreams.
Can you share the biggest challenge you faced when starting your businesses?
Absolutely. The biggest challenge that you're going to face, I think, every person is getting over that first step, getting over that thought. For me, it's always been about execution, and I've always know that if you don't have what you need, whether it's resources or counseling or partnerships, it's out there, it's available, right? So the key now is to understand that everything that we need is out there. And my biggest challenge has always been just taking that first step. After you take that first step, the rest becomes, ups and downs like everything in life. So it's always been about taking that first step.
What motivated you to get involved in community development?
Well, what motivates me the most in the world is to see what the world is not doing. And unfortunately, because of a lot of fears and a lot of scared of lack of resources, a lot of our own leaders in the Black community are creating stagnated opportunities for our people. So what motivates me the most is to see all of the lack of execution in the world and to want to build something better for our people. That's what motivates me the absolute most.
So, can you describe a successful community project you've led?
Absolutely. I've led several community projects. One of the ones I'm the most excited about is when I was able to travel through Africa and to offer the people some opportunities and different technologies and different consulting and to give people hope. Right now, with the Stable Coin Corporation, we have SAC1 POS that's basically trading now, and we're providing opportunities in transactions and access to medium of exchange for our digital currency. So having starting initiatives that are empowering to our people is what I'm really all about.
So, what are some of those things, though, when you talk about the community projects you've led, compared to what you've done in Africa? What are some of those things that you've done here domestically?
Absolutely. On the domestic level, we focus on mentorship and coaching. Coaching the youth, coaching troubled individuals who having, issues with vision, having issue with execution, having issues with, knowing where to go and who to turn to. So right now, our team is focused on collaborating on a team of Black leaders and coaches and mentors to provide those skills trainings and those different skills that our community needs. So right now, our community needs coaches. Our community needs Black leaders to stand up and to speak for us and to help us through. Yeah, it's okay to fight for dollars. I get it. But our young people need help. Our young people need to see that we love them and we care for them. So a lot of initiatives that we're doing now with the Building Black Business brand is to focus on coaching, mentorship, partnership, and giving collaboration and helping people that need help from a consulting perspective.
So, how do you stay motivated during tough times?
During tough times, I really look at day by day. Every day I wake up with an idea of gratitude every single day, and I encourage everybody to stay in gratitude mode. Fear is what causes us frustration and it causes us anxiety for the future. But as we wake up every single day, Charles, I think the main thing we should do as people is to really focus on be grateful for what you have. Be focused that you have two arms, two legs. You have an ability to get something to eat. you have a roof over your head, so we can consistently stay in gratitude. That's what should motivate us. Under you need to people need to understand that 95% of the world is in absolute poverty. It's not that they don't have the opportunity; they have nothing. Versus here in America, we have everything. We have everything.
So, how do you engage and mobilize community members?
Absolutely. We do that through communication. So we communication on not just social media, but also through Zoom calls, through chats and things of this nature. So we engage through a lot of conversations and through some of the local and events that we'll be doing across the country. And all those events will be collaborative. So we call it what's called zero barriers to entry. So we know that a lot of organizations have barriers, which are fees, and we get it, but we understand that a lot of people don't have those fees to collaborate. So we want to create a platform that people can engage in, have confidence that the people will be there to help them in a system, and the more so love on them. People can bring their value. If they don't have money, they can bring their value.
So, with some of those communications that you guys have you guys done any of those on the ground where you're like face to face with the people in the different communities?
Yeah, yeah, we do in the Fort Lauderdale area. We've been doing local meetups at the beautiful Caribbean restaurant called Lalos. We've been doing some at the nice brewery space that's in 441 in Fort Lauderdale. Then we've been doing some events at the Cats. I'm actually here in the Georgia area. We're established with some of the team members here for the Building Black Business Expo Atlanta, and then I'll be in Houston, Texas, and then from there we'll be doing the state of Maryland for Baltimore. But yeah, so we'll be structuring with our teams throughout each state and collaborating and doing local events, and then doing a lot of trainings and then a lot of executive coaching sessions to giving people execution strategies. We're calling it our Push to Succeed execution trainings. So we'll be doing some of those. Look to see those here in the future.
So, what strategies do you use to attract and retain customers?
Well, attracting and retain customers is really all about offering good value, right? Value is the key to everything. So I think if our people can understand that value is through doing whatever you can, doing everything that we can to provide whatever that value is, whether you're a hat maker, a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever you are, try to add as much value as you can and add more in use value than you take in cash value. So just in our past expo here in Fort Lauderdale, we offered a lot of value in regards to speakers. A lot of our great speakers provide a lot of gems, as we call them, as far as nuggets. So it's all about adding value to people and providing the different tools and resources that people can actually use and actually use in their day-to-day lives. And in collaborations, encourage people to connect with everybody. A lot of people have a tendency to be gatekeepers and want to be the middleman, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, people need to know that there's actual value in the connections that you're establishing with people.
So, what are the biggest challenges in community development today?
Well, the biggest challenge that I'm seeing is gatekeepers. I'm seeing that a lot of people are trying to hoard the knowledge and hoard the resources. That's the biggest challenge of the community development right now. And that's what I see as I travel the world. The biggest challenge is ourselves. We need to get out of our own way and let the resources flow to the people at the bottom. They're being weighted at the top, and it's not reaching the people through administrative costs and things of this nature. So that's the biggest challenges in the community development right now. It's not the lack of ideas. It's not the lack of execution. It's being hoarded at the top, and that's where it stops.
Well, I really have to agree with that because, to my knowledge and the things that I've actually found in research that I have done, is that I've actually found that there are an enormous amount of people that look like myself that are gatekeepers. And the issue with them being gatekeepers, or shall I say, the problem with that is they're actually trying to prevent a lot of people from coming up. And I'm not understanding that because I want to know what is that about.
Yeah. It's a fear. It's a fear of the lack that the resources that you're getting from whether it's a supporter or a sponsor or a donor is going to run out. But at the end of the day, there is no lack of resources. If you ever been to the Mint in DC, they print $50 billion a day. So there's never a lack of resources, and there's never a lack of allocation. And the other thing that we need to realize as people is that God has already written the beginning and the end. So if we keep ourselves in faith and humility as well as in gratitude, you'll understand that God has what's for you for you. He can't take nothing from you that's already yours, right? He can't take no ideas that are already yours. And secondly, he's going to give you what you put in, you know? You put in good work, he's going to give you good results. If you don't put in work, you're not going to get any results. So by hoarding the resources, it's not going to make you any richer. It's not going to make you any richer.
That's logic right there.
It's logic, common sense. That's why I laugh about it, because you're stopping the growth of the community who needs it, thinking that you're doing ourselves a favor if we're blocking the opportunities that are available. So that's the biggest challenge that's going on in the world right now.
So, what inspired you to create the Building Black Business Expo?
Well, after looking at all of the tools and resources that are in place right now, I saw we were building the tools within the Building Black Business Expo that are totally different from the other events that are presently active and working. So what we're seeing that all of the events have a few things. They have a high ticket, number one. They have a lot of things where people don't have access to any capital, but they can't get involved. We have it to where people want to get involved and speak, but they've considered not credible enough, or they don't have enough experience. So we want to give all of our brothers and sisters the opportunity and have a platform that they can come to in complete collaboration without a gatekeeper, somebody shutting you out. So the Building Black Business Expo is about collaborating all of our businesses, all of our cities, and it's basically about the economy. It's not about a county. We're stopping our growth because of county line, county lines. I gotta laugh about that because it's funny to me. It's funny. So we're blocking ourselves because you say I'm in County B and you're in County C, but County C needs help. But because I'm in County B, I can't help you. But you say you love me and you're my brother.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So we're building all the things that we see that are happening, and we're building the total opposite in the favor of our Black communities.
So, how has the expo evolved since its inception?
Oh wow, that's a great question, Charles. I think we rely on a system of faith, family, and finance. That's our motto. So that's in my heart, and that's what I'm delivering to the people. So again, people are moving in something that they see as not just valuable, but something that resonates with their soul, something that resonates with their being. So we're trying to communicate and resonate a brand, which is a promise, to the people, and bring about the connection of the Black community worldwide with the brand that's going to look to deliver value in information, resources, tools, and scalability around the world, and build an economy. That's our goal, is to build an economy.
Okay. So, what are the main goals of the expo?
The main goals of the expo is to take a zero barrier to entry brand that can collaborate around the world across our Black economy. That's the goal. The goal is to have an expo brand in every state in America and an expo brand in every country around the world. That's the promise. And then they
Okay.
all can have an opportunity to collaborate together in what's called the group economics model. So there is no one excluded. There is no one left behind, because through that model, we can create literally hundreds of millions of new opportunities and jobs from people that look like us.
So, can you tell us what does that model look like? Because I mean, when you say that, that sounds like something that's really prolific, and that is something that we can all use. But what does that look like? What can we visually get from the words that you can explain to us that this is the thing for us?
It's clear. You start stateside with one major city where we're the populace, right? So you start with the major cities. The major cities are Detroit, the DC, Maryland, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, California, Chicago. Those are the major hubs. Then from there, you collaborate the state. So you built it stateside. So you collaborate not just one city, you collaborate the state and all the Black leadership in that state that can collaborate and converge on that one event. Then you collaborate the events and you connect them together through virtual and technologies, through applications, through Zooms, through all of the communication, so that all of the expo brands are connected together. And then you do networking events, local networking events in each county that move towards the big event every single year, that people can move from event to event. Now, if people don't have money, that's fine. What you do is you let them volunteer, you let them serve, you let them lead. You don't just shut them out because they don't have $300. You give people the platform to use and to market their brand, and their brand can pay for the ticket. They can be an affiliate, they can be anything they want them to be. but you allow the people to use a platform that they can grow and thrive.
Okay. Um, how do you select the businesses and speakers featured at the expo?
We don't select ourselves; they present themselves. So we have a board. So it's like, listen, if you got the resume and you want to be a speaker, be a speaker. Nobody's stopping us. We don't want them to say, oh, you don't have the credentials. You got the skill, you got the background, you have the business prowess. Come on, brother. Come on, sister. Share your value to the community. We all got value. That's number one. It goes through a board. You send a basic resume or what have you, and the board looks at it. Oh, they got some experience. Check out social media. Let the brother be a speaker, right? Let the sister be a speaker. And then the vendors. Basically, as long if you got a product, you have a service, you have a technology, you have a brand, we want to make it cost effective. You know, as low as $100, you could be a vendor for 2 days. You don't have the $100, invite some black-owned businesses to get involved and be an affiliate and earn the money, right? You can earn a commission. So we don't want to leave nobody out that wants to come in and be a part of
Oh wow, now that's definitely enlightening.
it. Yes.
Um, so can you just tell me, like, because I understand how revolutionized this is because it's really meaningful. Um, so when it comes to, like that, I call that from the bottom up.
Mhm.
What gave you the idea, or what led you to these ideas to come up with this concept to build out?
I'll be honest with you. I got it from traveling to Africa. In Africa, you don't have infrastructure. You have minimal banking infrastructure. You have all these shops on the side of the road that if they had somewhere where they can converge and be able to share their wares, they don't have money for a monthly fee. They don't have money for a shop. All they have is the seeds they have or the fruit they have, whatever they have to sell, they're going to sell. So I said to myself, if I'm going to build a system and a platform that can embrace my community, my economy, and I can take it around the world, I have to build something that it allows for zero barriers to entry. It can't be high fees because it's not going to be scalable. It's not possible. So you get everybody an opportunity and a place to come, get involved, share their value, and that way people can be able to know what's being offered everywhere where there's an expo. Not importantly, but more importantly, what products are in that community.
Okay. What impact has the expo had on the local business community?
Oh, it's going to have a great impact because again, remember, we're doing not just the bigger expo once a year, but we're going to be continuing to doing it to collaborate with leadership in each state to offer smaller events leading up to that. And then we'll be providing coaching sessions as well. And then you'll have also coaches within our platform, our WhatsApp groups and our Zoom groups that actually provide you actual coaching. So if you need help, you can email us at marketing@bbbptexpo.com and somebody will get back with you and see what you need, brother or sister. And we love to help you. We love to point you in the right direction.
How do you handle competition in your industry?
We don't believe in competition over here. We only believe in collaboration and unity. Competition is an abstract. It's a fear. It's
Okay.
a fear. We don't have fear. We're covered by God. So here's an example. If I don't know what state you're in, but if you're in the state of Florida, the state of Georgia, or Texas or Maryland, and there was 100 black realtors, that's not enough. If there's 100 black plumbers, 1,000 black plumbers, that's not enough. If there's a million doctors, that's still not enough. There's never enough, right? If there was an expo once a month for every month indefinitely, it's not enough. What there's not enough of is execution. That's not
Wow.
enough.
I am here in Metro Atlanta as well.
Good,
And
good, good. So we'll do some coffee. I'll be here for quite a while, for at least 2 weeks.
okay, cool. Definitely. What role does innovation play in your business?
A lot of innovation. We're including some innovative tools, some AI technologies. We're including blockchain technologies, cryptocurrencies, and other tools that are going to help our people to understand the importance of not just digital technologies, but also innovation. We also offer SaaS, which is called Sales and Marketing as a Service. We also offer administrative tools for back-end services like call center services and things of this nature. So we're really innovative when it comes to technologies, and we want to help people that need help as well.
Okay. Um, how do you measure the impact of your community projects?
We measure through the people. We measure through the conversations. We measure through engagement. You can always measure your progress through talking to the people who either attended your events or they're actually winning more or they're asking the right questions. When people ask questions, it means they're thinking. So when you measure your progress by communicating with people, having conversation, and getting a feedback, and helping people to engage by loving on them, helping people them to engage, helping them to collaborate, and asking the right questions. If there's anything we can do for you, how can we help you? And focus on customer service. Profit is the benefit of good value. So you always receive profit if you give value.
Mm. What role does partnership play in your community development efforts?
100%. That 1,000%. Partnership is what it's all about. You know, they say if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. I believe in that wholeheartedly. You gotta collaborate. You gotta part. If you're not partnering up with other people, you other brothers and sisters, you're not gonna go very far. You're gonna do okay. You're gonna make a little money, but you're not gonna travel the world. It's not possible. You can't get across the world by yourself. I did it, but I mean now it's time to do it again, but with a whole team of businesses. I want to take thousands of black-owned businesses to every country. That's my vision. I don't want to go and take one or two companies. I want to take 1,000 black-owned businesses. Imagine if you had, strip malls. Well, we got all these strip malls in our community that are empty. You want to know why, Charles? Because we
Why?
don't own any franchises. That's why. If we have franchises, they all be full.
So do you but as you think about that and you think about some of these models, I mean uh like how would you determine which franchise would be more beneficial for our communities than other communities? Because not all of them actually, not our communities don't fit in a lot of these models for a lot of these different companies and so forth. How do you decide which franchise is going to be a good franchise?
Well, I mean that's a matter of demographics, right? So, like we talk about our community, we need to consider what our community needs. We need to build the products and build the products that we utilize, build the products that are in our best interest. And you let the community determine. You don't start off initially as a franchise. You start off providing value on a local level, whether it's at your church or whether it's an online portal, or online platform, or whether you're doing person to person. People started great brands out of the car, right? Out of their house, out of the kitchen. So you always start by ramping up. You ramp up, obviously. If you have, let me give you an example. If you're a cupcake maker, you don't go out and open up a cupcake store. You start up by doing an Uber Eats. So you start up by doing some other type of technology platform to get your product out there. Once your product is out there, then you can determine whether there's viability in the actual product. Once you know there's viability, then you can move it to the franchise model. But you got to be able to determine whether the model is even viable for the community. So if the community embraces it and then your line is out the door, out the gate for your product, it's time to move it out of the kitchen and into a building. Out of the building.
Now, I'd say now the interesting part of that, as you bring that up, is now there are certain states here in the southeast that are actually now allowing people to do those kind of things, restaurateurs, out of their houses.
Mhm.
What do you think about that? Because I think that's really wonderful if you can keep up with the standard.
Yeah, I know there's a lot. I mean, I'm big on ordinance. I think you gotta be think about the community safety, right? You gotta always think about the health issues. Everybody can't you can't eat behind everybody. We talk about that all the time. But so being in a person's kitchen may not be the safest, but I mean if it's can pass standards and the local government can put the compliance in there to make sure that it's clean and the temperature's right, I don't see a problem with it. I think it's just about having the right regulatory framework to ensure that it happens. I don't think you should stop someone from being successful only because they have a personal kitchen. But if they can maintain the regulatory standards of the local government, by all means, let them use the kitchen. By all means.
Mm. How do you promote the expo and attract attendees?
Everything's through digital platforms. And then again, we're doing our local events. We'll be doing some local events and collaborating here locally with the local chamber, I believe with ABC, the Urban League. So our teams reach out to all of the organizations in every county to let them know that we were looking to partner with you, we're looking to work with you. And then some respond and most do not because of fear. The same word, right? So we still collaborate with all of them to let them know we want to do joint ventures where possible. And one thing that you definitely don't hear too often is shared resources. So the entire platform is shared resources and revenues. So we offer that as well.
Mm. So take us through a day of the Black Expo from beginning to the end. How is it structured?
It's structured through a culmination of early morning talks from 9 a.m. all the way to the end of the business day. We do workshops in between. So there's always breakout sessions, workout sessions. We do early morning breakfasts that include Black men leadership and women's power breakfasts. Then we want to collaborate the church and the clergy. We do the first of its kind roundtable clergy discussion, talk about the power of the business in church and why and how the church should lead us in the church and what's important to us and why do we need to tithe? Why is that important? Right. Then we collaborate on the back end with some more entertainment and networking. And then we lead with usually either some comedy or some type of after hours event. And that'll be for 2 days. And then as we grow, we'll grow into some type of yachting event, awards ceremony, as well as some type of stellar event in the evenings.
Oh wow! Now that in itself, that's in itself, especially knowing that that should actually engage a lot of people from many communities to want to take part in this, especially since it's going to help in providing some opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
I,
Which,
I
which
have to commend you for that.
Yeah. The goal is to provide a platform, everything that we are, everything that we're about. We're about leadership lunches, breakfasts. We're about workouts, not just setting up shop and selling goods, but also giving real world tangible knowledge and execution strategies. I'm big on execution strategies. Don't tell me the problem and not give me a solution. Let's talk about the strategies that are going to be encouraging our people to provide. What is it going to take for them to do what they need to do, and who are the people that are going to help them to get it done? What are the resources that are available, right? And then we got to include the church. The church in business you rarely see. I know. Shouts out to Pastor Jake's been doing a lot of great workshops and a lot of great talks. I've been to a few Excel events with where he's been speaking, and that's I'm hoping to collaborate with him in some form. But and then collaborating with music and art. So we also include art and music into our expos as well, because that's a big part of our culture.
Hmm. How do you balance quality and growth?
Quality and growth comes through the fact of caring and the fact of systems. I'm big on systems. Systems stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. So if you're able to gauge the prospective growth, you can do that either through ticket sales or through engagement. Then what you can do is you can predict how many staff you're going to need, including volunteers, partnerships, and team members.
How do you ensure sustainability in your community projects?
Sustainability comes through proper planning. I think proper planning and organization. Budgeting. Obviously, we need to do a lot of that, and getting a lot of professionals engaged through the collaboration model. So we're going to be collaborating with a lot of great Black leaders and using the insight of the great professionals that came before us. I feel myself as just a vessel. I'm just a vessel here to deliver a promise of Black excellence in business in our community and culture. That's all I'm here to do. I'm not the end all do all. I'm just here to deliver a promise.
I understand. What challenges have you faced in organizing the expo?
I think the biggest thing I found is getting people to do what they say. A lot of times, people get excited by the mission and the vision, right? They get really, really, really super excited about it. And then what happens is they say, once they see how much work's involved, you know what they do? They stop.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they think it would be a light load, but it's not actually a light load. It actually takes work to organize and to unify.
What advice would you give to someone just starting their own business?
First thing I want to do is get you out a notepad and write a plan. Do a plan and then focus on your missions. You got to start with your first 5 missions that were given to you from God, which is your biblical mission, your personal mission, your life's mission. You got to do also with your personal mission. You also have to do with your um, employment mission or your career mission. And then lastly, your legacy mission. So with your 5 missions, that will move you to understand in business what you need to do for yourself and how you can grow.
What advice what advice would you give to someone looking to make a difference in their community?
Oh, that's easy. First thing you want to do is find out what you're passionate about and go after it. Find out what your passion is. And your passion is whatever thing makes you angry. If something makes you angry, that's your passion. And go out and fix that problem. Go and solve that problem.
Hmm. How do you measure the success of the expo?
The success is measured by the impact of the participants and the vendors and the people that participate and what they left with. What they can leave with one or two things that caused a great impact in their lives, or they can leave with an aha, I got it, or they leave with a smile. If people are not leaving with a smile, if you're not seeing smiley faces on your social media, if you're not seeing smiley faces in any way, shape, or form, that means you're not getting the success that you want. So the key for an expo is to have smiley faces, community engagement, and have people actually feeling comfortable about not just being there, but also what they've received from the value that they've heard and read and the nuggets that they've gotten from the people and the speakers.
How do you manage your time effectively as an entrepreneur?
Everything's segmented for me. So for me, it's about giving a certain amount of time to a certain amount of things. And saying, okay, once I get done with that one thing amount of time, I move to the next. So I took that out of the book of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs used to set up his time slots in 5 minute increments. So you got 5 minutes to say what you got to say, and that's it. For me, it's 30 minutes to an hour. I give every little thing 30 minutes to an hour, and then I move to the next task. I don't return to it. That's it. Elon Musk does 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes to tell me what you got to tell me, and then I gotta go. So I give myself an hour, 30 minutes to an hour for each task. That's all I spend. I'm not going to come back to it to the next day. I don't
Mhm.
spend all day on social media. I don't do all that stuff. I don't do
That's interesting. How do you address the diverse needs of the community?
The diverse needs of the community come in from a space of understanding what's actually needed and required because you have to have diverse thought processes, right? To understand how to gauge issues. So you have to have diverse thought processes. So the community will tell you it's not you can never have a singular mindset. I don't think that's good for anybody, right? So, diverse thoughts always help out in people understanding how to create new ways of doing things because it's coming from different perspectives. Even when it comes to like millennials, Gen Z, we're like the older group. I don't know what they call us, baby boomers, I guess. But hearing it from different age groups is important as well.
What feedback have you received from participants and attendees at the expo?
The teams have said some great things. I'm getting some getting some good feedback from the teams. I believe we have a whole lot of speakers and vendors that from the Florida Expo that are already ready to book for Atlanta. So we're making all the adjustments now and getting everything in order. So you'll see a lot of Florida folks at the Georgia Expo coming up here on 2025.
What are the key factors that have contributed to your success?
I think for me, I'm a burn the boat type of guy. I live on what's called facts and truth. That's how I live. I believe in facts and truth. I'm not emotional. That's the first thing. And number two is I execute. Regardless of what it is, I'm going to execute. So I know people don't, and so I know that makes us the 1%. So if I say it, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that it happens. It may be delayed because of circumstances, but I'm going to do everything in my power to make it happen.
Can you share a story of a community member whose life was positively impacted by your work?
Let's think of one. I'm trying to think of one. Oh, okay. I can remember one that was pretty cool. One time I was working with an organization in Miami Beach called the Beach Bum Gang, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Miami, but in Miami, what happens is individuals that aspire from all over the world, they say, okay, I think I'm gonna go down to Miami, down to South Beach, and live. And if I don't make it, I'll just live on the beach. So so they started an organization called the Beach Bum Gang, and that's pretty much what it was. People come from the Midwest or from the North, and they figure they'll come down and if they don't make it successfully, they'll just live on the beach. So one thing that really inspired me, I was super excited to help them with get that up and running, and that was really inspiring to help you. I love helping people, and you'd be surprised all the great knowledge folks have from all over the country that come down, and not just to Florida, but all over. And people just need hand. People just need love. People just want somebody that can listen to them. And that was one of the things that really motivated me to sit back and listen to some of these people's stories and understand what's going on and some of the plight, whether it be a family issue or they lost their career through an uncircumstance and out of their own, and things like that. So I really like listening, coaching people.
Hello? 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 Well, I guess we just lost Mr. Speaks. Um, I thank him for that time that he did put in. Uh, it was it was good. We appreciate the time that he spent with us, and for those that do get the opportunity to visit and be a part of the expo, it sounds like it's going to be a really, really good thing to do. And I hope that there's joy for those that do attend. So at any rate, um, I'm going to say that as we got into the show actually, um, I don't know. It's kind of like it's got me a little speechless. I hate that we're actually having this issue here between what transpired yesterday and what has transpired today. It seems like we've got some guests um, that wanted to be prepared and ready for the show, but they probably really weren't. I want to tell you all to please have a good day and have a great evening. Thank you all for the time that you spent with us. But we will definitely have a much better show for you guys tomorrow. Please have an excellent day.